We'll just give you an update. Yung sinasabi ko kanina na wala pang consensus. Nagkaroon ng consensus mga right after lunch. Right after lunch, nung after na mag-usap tayo. Yeah, so in-endorse na ng leaders yung at naglabas sila ng papel on Myanmar titled ASEAN Leaders Review and Decision on the Implementation of the 5-Point Consensus. Now there are 15 points here. Mada-download nyo to sa website. You can download this from the website of ASEAN. Of course, I can no longer dwell on each and every one, but suffice it to say that primarily it states that the 5-point consensus shall remain as the valid reference and should be implemented in its entirety. Yeah, because this was in the face of an attempt to somehow do something more, either not exactly replace, but to implement some other alternative plan to this, in view of the limited progress before of in the 5-point consensus. No? So, okay, this is the most important part. The ASEAN leaders reaffirmed that Myanmar remains an integral part of ASEAN. Member pa rin ng ASEAN ang Myanmar. Then, but there will be a need for an implementation plan which will be formulated in future meetings by the foreign ministers of ASEAN. A concrete implementation plan with a timeline. No? The plan will flesh out how we can enhance the implementation of the 5-point consensus. So the leaders tasked the foreign ministers to develop this plan. Now, but it also admitted that the situation in Myanmar remains critical and fragile, with growing violence. No? And so, in a sense, it communicates a disappointment by the leaders in the lack of progress or the little progress in Myanmar. And it specifically pointed out that it is incumbent upon the Myanmar armed forces to comply with the commitments to the ASEAN leaders. Of course, it still stands, as I said a moment ago, that all stakeholders will have to be engaged, and all stakeholders would have to abide by the 5-point consensus for it to be realistically implemented. No? And then concerning the representation of Myanmar in ASEAN meetings, it maintains that non-political representation of Myanmar to the ASEAN summits and the ASEAN foreign ministers will continue, but they task ASEAN again through its ASEAN Coordinating Council to further review Myanmar's representation at ASEAN meetings if the situation so requires. So pwedeng ma-review itong current mechanism. When it comes to decision making, ni-reaffirm nila yung consensus and consultation, but it does not, as I said a moment ago, it does not stop there. In case walang consensus, then they can elevate the matter to the leaders in the summit for them to decide on the modality of the decision making. Marami pa to, but those are the main points. So, okay, thank you.